أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما رب يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير ثم أما بعد والحمد لله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We resume today after the month of Ramadan and a week. Last Wednesday was Eid al-Fitr, alhamdulillah, and we are now resuming inshallah after that. Today's class number is class number 48 in the series and the order of our classes that we've been having over the past just over a year or so. And this class, however, has been ongoing for many years, more than 6 years maybe. And we have covered many different topics and many different syllabuses, many different series in this class. Since the past few years, it's been live streamed and broadcasted, so many of you are able to watch it and review it from home or wherever you are watching from. This Wednesday class of Islamic Studies is one of the classes that we do here in Darul Ummah. On Tuesdays we have our Dars Bukhari in Bangla language with Sheikh Abu Sa'id that you saw yesterday after Salatul Asr. On Thursdays, tomorrow, we have a Riyadh al-Salihin class that you are joining, mashallah, many of you, as well as a 13th class on Fridays after Salatul Maghrib, which we'll be inshallah resuming from this week. Bi-idhnillahi azza wa jal. As for our discussion today, in lesson number 48, we now move on to the next chapter after having spoken about zakat and the rules and regulations of fasting. We have covered so far in this series the first pillar of Islam, which is Shahada, and what it means to be a Muslim. And we've also explained further by studying the 99 names of Allah. Okay, so we've understood what are the two Shahadatain, the two testifications, as well as the articles of our faith, as well as the 99 names of Allah, and we've spoken about that in some detail, alhamdulillah. And we covered the first pillar as such in that way. Then we went into the second pillar of Islam, which is Salah. And Salah included the chapter of Tahara and cleanliness. So we spoke about wudu, we spoke about ghusl, we spoke about tayammum, we spoke about khuf, wiping over socks, wiping over bandages, and so on. And then we spoke about the Salah itself, because in order for the Salah to be done, you need purification first. So after we finished purification, studying purification, then we went into Salah, and we understood the faraid of the Salah, the wajibat of the Salah, the sunan of the Salah, and so on. The types of the Salah, and so on. Then after that, we studied the third pillar of Islam, is Sawm. But we delayed that because Ramadan was still quite far away, so we studied Zakat, how to give Zakat and so on. Then we went and studied how Sawm works, which is the fourth pillar of Islam, now done. Now that leaves us with the fifth pillar of Islam, that is the Hajj itself. And inshallah, in these lessons to come, bi-idhnillah, part by part, in small steps as we usually do, we'll be studying how Hajj works, its fara'id, its wajibat, its sunan, its rights, its responsibilities, and so on. In today's brief lesson, as introduction, we'll understand what Hajj is and who it is obligatory upon. And then we'll go into how Hajj works afterwards, inshallah. So Al-Hajj in Arabic, it means Al-Qasd, which means to intend and to want to go to a particular place, to head out towards a particular location and a journey towards a particular place. That's the linguistic and the literal meaning. So Hajj is defined as visiting a particular place, while in the state of pilgrim sanctity, Ihram, and it's in its appointed month, namely Shawwal. Now, when it comes to Sharia and the Deen, when we say Hajj, we know what it means. It means to do a particular, very specific pilgrimage in a particular way, with a particular mindset, with intention, particular clothing, and particular niyyah. That's what Hajj means. So what is Hajj? Hajj is defined as visiting a particular place while in the state of pilgrim sanctity, while in the state of Ihram, in its appointed months, namely Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, and the first 10 days of Dhul Hijjah. meaning you go to Hajj a bit early sometimes, so this would become a part of the Hajj journey. So Hajj is known to us, but to some people it may not be known. Hajj is pilgrimage. It means to go to Mecca. It means to go to do particular set of ibadat for the sake of Allah. And this is not obligatory upon every single person. It's obligatory and mandatory, and you have to do upon a specific group of people. Those who are able to go physically as well as financially able to afford it, the journey there and back, and financially be able to afford the expenditure of those whom they are leaving behind in their absence. So, it is obligatory and fard to perform Hajj once in a lifetime at least, and as soon as one is able to do so, al fawr, according to the most correct opinion. Now, who is Hajj fard upon? The person upon whom it is obligatory is the person who is first of all a free person, not a slave, a Muslim, as well as is legally responsible. And that word is mukallaf. What does mukallaf mean? 5, 6, 7. That is that the person is adult and sane, meaning mentally they're stable, mentally not unaware, mentally not ill, mentally sane and mentally aware. So an adult and sane, as otherwise one is not legally responsible. So Hajj is fard upon a free person who is a Muslim, who is mentally aware, who is as well the age of puberty, baligh, okay, and able to, at the time when the people of the locality leave for Hajj, to afford, is able to afford. So for Hajj to be obligatory, oh, Jazakallah, thank you. For Hajj to be obligatory, first and foremost, a person has to be free, they have to be a Muslim, they have to be baligh, they have to be mentally stable, they have to be able to afford as well. These conditions must be met for someone to, for Hajj to be fard upon someone. If someone ticks some of the boxes and not all, then it will not be fard upon them. Okay, so they are able to afford. What do they have to afford? The provisions, the food and the drink, the transportation for the actual journey, and other expenses. They have to have enough money, enough wealth to be able to spend on all of these things, for both going and returning, in excess of the expenses of one's dependents. So you have to leave behind enough money as well for those who are dependent upon you. So what that means is, when you look at a Hajj package today, it might say to you £10,000 for UK residents. So on the one hand, you have to afford the £10,000 for yourself, because that includes everything: food, drink and transportation, usually now with Nusuk app and the Saudi government. But that also means that when you leave, if you leave for 10 days, 15 days, whatever you leave for, you have to leave behind enough money for your family, your wife and your kids to be able to spend from without any difficulty. That means if someone is able to afford the 10K to go, but not able to afford the money to leave behind for their family, then it will still not be obligatory upon them. It will be obligatory upon them when they can afford the whole thing. Going, coming back, expenses, as well as the expenditure of those who are dependent upon him. Okay? Or her. So we've seen that there are some conditions that must be met for someone to be required to perform Hajj. The obligatory requirements for its performance are a sound. So now there are more. So we've said 5 things so far. We've said free, Muslim, baligh, aqil, mentally aware, able to afford financially. Now there's more. Number 6, your health is ready as well. Your health is strong. You're physically able to go and come back. The journeys and the actions and the responsibilities and the nusuk and the manasik of the Hajj are able to perform. That's number 6. Number 7, there has to also be safety on the road. Meaning, if someone is being forced that they can't go to Hajj, they're being forced that they can't travel, then for that person Hajj will not be fard. For example, during the time of Corona, remember, coronavirus, you can't go to Hajj. Will it be fard upon the person to go to Hajj? It will not be, because they're not allowed to travel. There's no traveling to Hajj. So with number 6, we said you have to be physically healthy yourself. And also the pathway to and from Hajj has to be safe and open and clear. Okay? So there shouldn't be anything stopping you from going to Hajj. Number 7. Number 8. The route that you will be using now, this is more applicable to those who travel by road. And I was in Medina a few months ago, and I met some people that came from Iraq by bus. So some people still travel by road. This is normal. Some people still travel by ship. Some people still go by walking. Some of the brothers, they go by cycling, you've seen. Of course, most people probably go through airplane. But from the conditions, from the reasons, from the conditions of Hajj becoming fard, is that also the passage and the route and the road that you're going to use is also safe. If you receive news that the routes now to Hajj have all become very dangerous, that it's a risk to your health, it's a risk to your safety, it's a risk to your life, then Hajj will not be fard for you. Okay? So first of all, there isn't anything stopping you in number 7, as well as the routes and the passages, the roads that you will use is also safe for you to use, for you to go and come back from Hajj. That's number 8. Number 9, this is specifically for women, that the woman should not be in her iddah period. Because women in iddah period, after the death of their husband, they are not allowed to travel. They should remain at home. So she should not be in her iddah period. Number 9. Number 10, as well as for the women, women must have a mahram with them. Women must have a mahram with them. And who is a mahram? A mahram is a husband. A husband is their husband, or a relative with whom they are never allowed to get married. That's how you define mahram. Mahram is someone who is haram for the other person. Your maharim are those who it is haram for you to get married to. So who are they? Your parents, your offspring, your siblings, your uncles, and so on. Your father-in-law for the women, their father-in-law, their father, their uncles, their children, their siblings, and so on. So these are their maharim. So for women, there are 2 additional conditions, which is that they have to be outside of their iddah period, because iddah would stop them from traveling. And number 10, that they have to have a mahram companion with them. I know that of late, the mahram condition is not required in the nusuk system. Okay, so the reason why they have done that is they are following another opinion, which states that if they are traveling in a group which provides them safety and security, then that fulfills the responsibility of the mahram. So that's the opinion that they are following. But of course, this text is Hanafi school of law. So what they're saying is that you need a mahram. But then later on in the footnote, it explains that mahram is required. But if a woman went without a mahram, then she would be committing an act which is makruh tahriman. Let me see what's happening with this sound. So if a woman went to Hajj without a mahram companion, then this would be makruh according to the Hanafi school of law, meaning she will be blameworthy or sinful. However, will her Hajj be done? Her Hajj will be done. The traveling is separate. The traveling alone without the mahram is blameworthy, sinful, makruh tahriman, makruh tahrimi. But the Hajj itself will be done. So this is the information that I wanted to share with you for today, upon whom the Hajj is fard, And later on, inshallah, in the coming week, we'll go into how the Hajj is done, step by step, so we don't forget. There's no rush, inshallah. Most important is that you understand, and most important than that is that you, if you have questions, you ask, and inshallah, we'll try to answer them for you. Also, this class is for beginners, which means beginners, many of us are beginners. That means it's also suitable for new Muslims, reverts, new Muslims, those who are learning about Islam, interested in Islam. They're more than welcome because we explain in a very slow, comfortable pace, and everybody is welcome. This is also welcome and open to sisters. There's a sisters hall, and we're connected to that sisters hall with video link, so they can see what we're saying. They can also be a part of the class by sending in their questions on the comment section here on the YouTube. We have YouTube here live streamed, so they can easily be a part of the class by typing their questions there. And of course, there are people also watching on from home on YouTube as well live, and this will also be saved afterwards on YouTube's channel. And of course, Adhan Radio. We have a playlist on our YouTube now, which is called the Islamic Studies playlist. You can have access to all of the previous classes there, inshallah. As for today, we will stop here. Are there any questions? Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. Subhanakallahumma ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.